If I were driving my car and I saw a few red lights on my dashboard that were warning signs telling me that something is wrong or something is going to happen that is not favorable, I would probably pull over and look in what's called the manual. That's correct. There is a manual that tells us the warning signs of a possible problem that comes up down the road. So if I keep driving, I will drive my car into the ground. So I would stop, pull over, look in the manual, and that would tell me what those little squiggly things are on the dashboard that are red or yellow. And then I will either go to a mechanic or call the dealership. But if I kept driving and ignored it, my car would surely break down. Well, guess what? That's what happens in relationships. We start out, there are little warning signs. We might ignore it because we don't have that manual. When we don't have a manual, we just wing it. We interpret things on our own. That's where we get into trouble. We keep driving the relationship and then it breaks down. Then I come along. People come to me and they say, well, our relationship is over. My job is to go back and say, where did these lights start coming on to warn you that something was wrong in the relationship or there was trouble? I help people identify it. We go back in time. Then I teach you how to identify these signals in the future so you don't keep driving your car and running it into the ground. How do I do this? Well, if you're riding a bicycle and you're speeding down the street and I take a stick and I stick it in the spoke, the two of you will go flying off that bicycle. I would have to stop the motion in order to get your attention. That's what I do. I stop the motion of emotions that are not healthy, and I teach couples how to identify that motion so we slow down. If I run a red light, I am surely going to crash into something or somebody will crash into me. Well, that's how it works when I work with couples. I've been doing this for over 25 years. It works. It works when two people are committed. Now, what happens if only one person wants to come to me? We could work on that. You can only work on your part of the relationship problems. It's like a clock. There are gears in the back of a clock. Big gears, little gears, medium gears. If you take out the little gear, the clock stops. It doesn't matter what size the gear is. That's the way I look at people that disagree. What are you contributing to the disagreements? What is your role? If it's 50%, 20%, 10%, 90%, it's still going to affect the overall health of how that clock or your relationship is running. I help stop the motion. I take the gears and I say, this is your part, this is your part. It doesn't matter who's more responsible. It's a matter of putting the clock back together so it works and then reestablishing the time. We can always go back and clean the gears if the clock is running slow. When I work with couples, that's what I do. We work and we work and we get the clock running. If you have a problem, you come back to me and it's like a tune-up. I have to stop the motion on the bicycle with a stick in the spoke, get you to stop what you're doing, listen to what I'm saying. We clean up everything. If you come back when you're having some issues, then we don't have to start all over again. I teach you how to identify yellow warning signs before they get to red warning signs, and then the car completely breaks down.